Okay. I've been having trouble with my phone cutting off, so whoever's hacking is having a good time, I guess. But like I was saying, I do know some Crips that I'm cool with. So real gang members, that been through it all, understand, that you have to grow up. And to me, making a contribution to your community is really getting out there and participating in the community, like I do with the Inner City Fund Project. Passing out food, coats, gloves, mittens, and also doing a training school, which inside of the curriculum that I wrote, and as I mentioned, I have a certification from Clemson University in professional technical communication. So I wanted to include a portion about gangs. So now I'm going to take time and encourage all of you active and non-active gang members, and you know what I'm talking about if you're in a gang, to send me a little snippet, because I was going to do a physical training school, but to avoid getting someone ass whipped or beat to death in the training school, I'm just going to do, like I'm doing now, I'm going to do a discussion about it, but this is kind of like a reach out to you to send me your information and story and your experiences with gangs, so that way I can read it and include it in my YouTube sermon. My email that you can reach out to me is Christ, and it stands for Christians, but it's short for Christian. It's CHRISTORDAINEDMINISTERWAYNEHOY7 and that's my email. And that's Christ Ordained Minister Wayne Hoy 7 at yahoo.com. I believe in going to the horse, as they say, an old American saying, and getting the true story, from a person who was actually involved in participating in a gang. I think those are more powerful because I have intentions on, as I say, including them into a sermon, so people can understand what it's really like, to be involved in a gang. So, and again, I'm walking down the wrong street, so I'm crossing off so I won't get killed by the car. But I really just want some real stories, experiences. I talked to a skinhead in Quick Trip, so we had a good conversation, so when he hears this, he can send in his information too. So I want to get like your experiences, with the gang, what you went through, what it was like for you personally, individually. And I'm not, and because a lot of people sometimes, when I come and do fundraisers, they think I'm protesting and trying to cause trouble. But really my thing is, my calling is for unity and peace. But a lot of times you can find that within yourself. And as I say all the time, individuals affect groups. So maybe you guys can go, as my Mexicana amigos say to me, I like to say cabron, and for my Cambodians, cabrone. As they say all the time, the homeboys, which I grew up with, the black people. Maybe, all of you can go and talk to, the essays and homeboys or whatever your set may be. And, just tell them, your experiences with it, but let them make their individual choice. And let them decide, what they want to do. Now, if you're smart, in my opinion, you go get you some dope and a hoe, I'm fucking with you. Don't do that and say I told you to do it. But if you're smart, you'll learn from your experiences, whether they're good, or bad. Because, a lot of times, people look at gangs, in a negative manner. And, they judge. And being a Christian is not, what judging is about. Like me, I've been swearing and cussing, my whole life. So that don't make me a Christian because I do so. I like to smoke cigarettes, which I used to smoke blunts. So, and, I'm not going to go there, but you know what I mean. But, and joints and, a lot of other things. And my book, My Street Miracles, is out actually at the Amazon Kindle store. So for those of you that already purchased it or read it, you know exactly where I'm coming from. And it's available at the Amazon Kindle store. But the point of today is to really just reach out so you have an opportunity to tell your side of the story. Because my individual story, I really didn't have a choice but to fight. When you move to these neighborhoods, you either stay in the house or you fight. And now I'm thinking about my homeboy, who's a DJ, or unless he got fired, at the Chicago WGCI, I believe, because I have a pretty good memory. But shout out to the west side of Chicago and the foes, as they say, the Four Corner Hustler, and also the Latin Kings, which are their enemies. So I know personally some people here where I come from in Latin Council, so which I believe are a rival gang for them too. But I know Brems, Fruit Town. I know East Side Mob, Ludus Park, Piru. But I grew up with IFGB, Inglewood Family Gangsta Blood. I'm cool with Athens Park Boys, North and South Side here. So, it's gangs everywhere, and all of our gangs here in Kansas, are West Coast influence. And shout out to United Blood Nation on the East Coast, because I'm a fan of Dipset and